the court asked the respondent, counsel for the RSS, to inform the court as to what was the alleged statement made by Rahul Gandhi in the alleged speech. And he quoted, because that is part of the complaint, and I quote, he said that what Rahul Gandhi had said in his speech is the following, quote, RSS के लोगों ने गांधी जी को गोली मारी और उनके लोग गांधी जी की बात करते हैं। सरदार पटेल कांग्रेस पार्टी के नेता थे, उन्होंने आरएसएस के बारे में साफ सुथरा लिखा है, उनके संगठन के बारे में साफ सुथरा लिखा है, close quote. So the court asked us as to whether this was correct or not, and we said that whatever we had to say is set out in our petition before the High Court under Article 227, and it is all reflected in paragraph 8 of that petition, and we stand by what we said. And I'll quote paragraph 8 so that the matter will be clear. That at this stage it shall be apposite to briefly sum up the gist of the speech made by the petitioner. A dispassionate reading of the contents of the speech made by the petitioner makes it abundantly clear that he gives the highest importance to the principles of tolerance, compassion, harmony, peaceful coexistence and brotherhood of men, irrespective of caste, class, or creed. In the context of economic development, he accords high priority to eradication of poverty and enunciates the principle that growth and development shall be inclusive. He dwelt at length on the historical evolution of the principles of the ethos of the Congress Party. He attacked the approach of the opposition as divisive and their approach to economic development as elitist, as they ignored the poor. He did mention the RSS in the course of his speech at one place, though the RSS was not contesting the election as a political party. A careful reading of the relevant part of his speech indicates that as per the petitioner, the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi was a result of destructive philosophy of the persons associated with the RSS. Okay? He stands by that. It was also clearly suggested that the assassins were not associated or affiliated with the RSS. We stand by that. He never accused RSS as an institution of the crime. We stand by that. The second part deals with the attempt of the opposition to appropriate the legacy of Sardar Patel, an eminent leader of the Congress during the pre-independence and post-independence period. It is highlighted in the speech that Sardar Patel had written about RSS candidly and clearly. In other words, one gets the impression that Sardar Patel had been critical of the RSS. So that's exactly what we said in our petition. We told the court we stand by that, right? And therefore, the other side has been asked to take instructions and come back to the court whether they accept this position or not, and when the matter will be heard next time, the other side will make a statement. But now that I am here, I would like to place one or two things before you, because it's important. Remember, what Rahul Gandhi has said is not something that he has said for the first time, or the people in the country have said for the first time. Because this is a matter of public debate as to who killed Gandhiji, right? And I would like to invite your attention to a government communique dated February 4, 1948. This is an official communique of the then government in place. Text of government communique dated February 4, 1948. I will not read the whole communique, but what I will tell you is, what I will read is relevant part. What it says is undesirable and even dangerous activities have been carried on by members of the Sangh. It has been found that in several parts of the country, individual members of the RSS have indulged in acts of violence involving arson, robbery, dacoity, and murder, and have collected illicit arms and ammunition. They have been found circulating leaflets exhorting people to resort to terrorist methods, to collect firearms, to create disaffection against the government, and suborn the police and the military. These activities have been carried on under a cloak of secrecy, and the government have considered from time to time how far these activities rendered it incumbent on them to deal with the Sangh in its corporate capacity. Rahul Gandhi has not said this. This is government of India. The last occasion when the government defined this attitude was when the premiers and home ministers of provinces in Delhi in conference towards the end of November. It was then unanimously agreed that the stage when the Sangh should be dealt with as an association has not yet arrived, and that individuals should continue to be dealt with sternly as hitherto. The objectionable and harmful activities of the Sangh have, however, continued unabated, and the cult of violence sponsored and inspired by the activities of the Sangh has claimed many victims. The latest and the most precious to fall was Gandhiji himself. This is not said by Rahul Gandhi. It is said through a government communique of February 1948. Let me invite your attention to something else. And this is very, very interesting. There is a book written by the title is Saffron Fascism, written by Sham Chand and published by Hemkund Publishers at its first published edition, 2002. What does it say? And I quote, Nehru wrote a letter to Home Minister Sardar Patel on February 26, 1948, suggesting that Gandhiji's murder was a part of a much wider campaign organized chiefly by the RSS. Sardar Patel sent a reply to Nehru the very next day informing him that it was a fanatical wing of Hindu Mahasabha directly under Savarkar and hatched the conspiracy and saw it through. Savarkar was not found guilty by the court. Golwalkar somehow went scot-free. Can a murder which was a part of a much wider campaign be investigated in 3 weeks? Then, quote, pretender to Sardar Patel's legacy, L.K. Advani, denied Godse's link with RSS. Godse's brother, Gopal Godse, rebuked Advani. Gopal countered Advani saying, and I quote what the brother said, it is cowardice to say that. And he said that to Advaniji. It is cowardice to say that. You can say the RSS did not pass a resolution, quote, go and assassinate Gandhi, close quote. But RSS hatched a conspiracy to kill Gandhiji, not said by Rahul Gandhi. Gopal says, and the brother says, and I quote, all the brothers were in RSS. Not said by Rahul Gandhi, said by the brother of Godse. All brothers were in RSS. All the brothers were in the RSS, Nathuram, Dattare, Govind and myself. You can say we grew up in the RSS rather than in our home. It was like a family to us. Nathuram had become a Buddhi Karwayak, intellectual worker, in the RSS. He has said in his statement that he left the RSS. He said it because Golwalkar and the RSS were in a lot of trouble after the murder of Gandhi. But he did not leave the RSS. Close quote. That is his brother. And I can quote you any number of books. How is it that Rahul Gandhi is now sought to be prosecuted for defamation of, when all these quotes, and I'm saying from 1942 by various people, who have directly attributed the murder of Gandhi to an organization, directly attributed. Nobody has filed a case against them. Why have they not filed a case? Why has the RSS not filed a case against all these authors? Why have they not filed against the brother of Nathuram, who said, we were all in the RSS? So why this hypocrisy? Only for politics. So if you really are honest and you believe in what you say, then you should file defamation cases against all these people and against the brother. And we know for a fact, and this is also written in books, that when Gandhiji died, they distributed sweets. That is part of literature, part of historical facts. And these are matters of public debate. Now you want to play politics? Then we shall see. So let us see what the response is. I just wanted to clarify this so that the Twitterati, which is belonging to a particular mindset, is going amok, right? And we want to just set the facts, state the facts, and set the matters on rest. Thank you.